Hey guys, my name is Johnny from Lulu's, and we're all about creating unique ear styling that helps you stay trendy while expressing your personal style. In today's Style With Me video, we're gonna be styling an ear made of completely 14 karat gold. As you all know, this ear is always gonna be featured on our 12 o'clock daily live stream, where we're gonna be streaming on all social media platforms, where we display new ears every single day, designed by yours truly, and you pretty much get a behind the scenes look of exactly how I put the whole thing together. So go ahead and sit back, get some popcorn, get some cold drinks, and we're gonna go ahead and do the Style With Me video in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we have our blank canvas here, as you can tell, and we have all our different pieces of jewelry here lined up for me that I want to use for this ear. I usually like to work bottom up or top down. I'm pretty much gonna start with the Rook Jewelry. What we're using for the Rook Jewelry is this double row hinge ring. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this piercing with the Rook. Normally I like to pierce the Rook with a glass tube because it's so easy to pierce without having to like poke the back of someone's ear. This is typically not your safe piercing practice, but it is a rubber ear, so don't kill me for it, you know what I mean? So we're not gonna finish there, we're gonna continue on. We're gonna stay with, oops, that does not happen every day. Folks, this is an extra small, and I usually wear like a medium to large. I'm out of gloves, so I'm stuck using these. So we just gotta get a new glove and continue working. Imagine that happened during a piercing. Boy, that'd be embarrassing. Okay. Hopefully this one's intact. I feel like this might explode any minute now too. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the top part of the ear, and I'm gonna work with the upper corner of the ear because that's not utilized enough in my opinion. And we're gonna do a double gemmed hinge ring. Very simple design jewelry, but when placed in the right places in the right circumstances, I think it looks really nice. The goal for this one is I want to pair two pieces of jewelry right next to each other, but I want the jewelry to hug the ear as much as possible to achieve the look I'm going for. In order to do that, normally I pre-measure the jewelry to the ear just to make sure it creates the hugging effect. So whenever you're gonna get something like this done, make sure that the piercer, stylist, whoever is gonna use the ring, make sure they use the ring and measure according to that, or else it's not gonna look the way you see here in the video. The next area I'm gonna utilize the mid part of the ear, and what we're gonna put in the mid part of the ear is this cluster. This piece is internally threaded. If you guys don't know the difference between internally threaded and threadless, internally threaded means there's threading on the inside of the post, and then the jewelry just gets screwed on. You kind of just twist it until it pretty much sits in that spot. Some of our pieces come internally threaded where you screw them on. Some of them are threadless, it just depends. We're gonna be using the Thunderbolts because we want a little bit of thunder tonight. Okay, so we're gonna pierce the tragus. I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever I style ears, I never do a Rook and a Daith in the same place because it'll cause overcrowding. Sometimes you don't do two piercings next to each other because it just doesn't look right. It's very rare where I've done a Rook piercing and a forward helix together unless the spacing was right. But for the most part, I don't like doing something that's too close to each other. It just feels very overcrowded. The earlobe would be a good place to do that because the crowded look on the earlobe actually looks really nice. Everywhere else, depends how you do it. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put Huggies on the bottom part of the ear. And the first thing I'm gonna start with is the Huggie with the sharp arrow or sharp triangle on the very bottom. Mentally, it makes sense that that's the first piece because all the other pieces following this kind of all just make sense. If I were to put a dangly piece like third and then like pieces that don't dangle in front of it, it just looks weird. Next thing we're gonna do, I call this the engagement ring hinge ring, but it's not really an engagement ring. It's just a really tiny stud in the center part of the helix. We're gonna place that in the middle. We're gonna space it out just a little bit. We don't want it to be too crowded. And then last but not least, the final piece of the puzzle is a 16 gauge gemmed hinge ring. There we have it, all gold theme. Very simple, very classy. Comment below if you guys like it. If you guys wanna see my latest Style With Me video, click the video right up here.